So we begin with, you can put that up, Patrick. There we go. The caterpillar says, "You've changed." The butterfly says, "We're supposed to." Today I am here to talk about change, a good apropos topic, right? When we're experiencing something wonderful, the mind says, "Please don't ever let this end." And when we're experiencing something challenging, excuse me, the mind says, "God, will this never end?" Right? The truth of life is that in this world of form, this three-dimensional reality, everything is always changing. Your body is literally not the same from day to day. Do you have the same thoughts and feelings every day? They change on the hour. Within 1 hour, you can feel joy and upset and freedom and imprisonment. One moment you're thinking the sky is so beautiful. The next moment you're irritated because a person cut you off on the street. And our relationships, like everything else, they're always changing. Every day you wake up new, and so do the people in your life. And yet, we hold them and ourselves trapped in yesterday. So many times, I work with couples doing counseling. And you know what typically they're stuck in? 10 years ago. 10, 15 years ago. 20 years ago. They're stuck in something that happened that they have not allowed themselves to accept and to include and to embrace and to welcome, whatever it is and everything it is. This is the way to be in relationship with everyone. And yet, we do not let go. We do not let ourselves change. We stay so stuck because we want to be right. We want to be right about what happened. We want to be right about how we've been done wrong or whatever it is. I've said this before. When you want to be right, you can be right, but make sure that it's what you want. Because when you're right, it's all you get. You don't get forward movement. You don't get freedom. You don't even get friends because they're going to get tired of you. It is repellent. It is repelling to be convicted in being right about what is wrong. It is not attractive. It literally is not life-giving. Even God, to you, is not permanent. I mean, God is a changeless presence for sure, but your experience of this changeless presence in this lifetime is hopefully forever growing and forever expanding. And you get one expression of it like, wow, that's amazing and beautiful. And then there's more. And then there's more. We always want to welcome growing in our concept of God. Take a moment now. Close your eyes for a moment. And imagine the changes you have seen over your lifetime. Just let yourself dance through. And open your eyes, just a moment of that. Has anything changed over your lifetime? Wouldn't it be easier to say everything? Everything. Everything has changed. Everything. Except our resistance to change. That seems to hold strong, doesn't it? Our surprise at change, our inability to lean into it, to accept it, and dare we say, enjoy it. When change knocks on the door, why do we not throw the door open and welcome it in? Welcome it in. Because the fearful mind is threatened by your acceptance. The part of the mind, the ego structure, that is stuck in not wanting things to change convinces you that you will only lose. And then we move our attention to that part of the brain or the mind that's saying, look what's going to change, look what's going to lose, nothing's going to be the same. You're getting screwed here. And our attention goes there, and because your attention flows there, what do you experience? That. It really is a choice point. Where do you want your attention to go during times of change? Do you want it to stare down at what is disappearing and make it more dramatic? Or do you want to lift up and go to the consciousness of oneness with the divine that says, this is constantly changing. Enjoy it. Sit back and relax. You cannot like change. You can cross your arms and be resistant to it. You can yell at it. You can do all of the non-life-giving things that you want to do, and it changes nothing. Because when change knocks on the door, it will wait, but not forever. Think of it as, we've all been through this, or let me start with this first, the next slide. There's a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. This is Ecclesiastes 3:1. There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. You can embrace this, or you can resist this. We all know how it works when change comes. It starts like a little toothpick, just poking. Hello? Hello? Something new's happening. Just give me a little bit of warning. It's easy to avoid a toothpick. You can just, So when it first knocks, you just think, that's not a big deal. And you just keep moving. And then eventually, it becomes a stick. And the stick is pushing and prodding. And now you're getting a little more uncomfortable. Now it's a little hard to deny. It's like the head knows. The mind says, okay, something's changing here. But then the heart and the emotions, they don't move as quickly. The thought is there, but then getting everything else lined up. And that's when we resist. And when we resist, the stick keeps pushing. And you can resist that, right? You're strong. You're able to ignore a stick pushing you. You're able to ignore the truth at that level. But then the stick becomes a baseball bat, right? And then the baseball bat starts swinging at you. And then if you still refuse to change, to go with what is happening, to welcome what is here, that's all we're talking about. Welcome what is here. The baseball bat becomes a tree that falls on you and pins you down. And then I was like, oh my God, where did that come from? It just came from out of the blue. That thing has been knocking on your door for over a year. And then is when lying flat, trapped under the tree of change, we surrender. But who are you in that surrender is what makes the difference. Are you in the surrender of this is how life goes and screw it, this is just it? Or are you in the this is for me? There's something good here and I shall claim it. This is the leaning in. This is the leaning into change. The spiritual path, I believe, is a path of accelerated change. I believe when you say yes to awakening to the spiritual nature of your being, you are saying to Spirit, just like that song that was sung, if you didn't hear the words, Spirit is a wrecking ball. What is the line after that? Do you remember? Breaking down my rebel walls. So everything that you have attached to, every construct, structure in the world of form and in the world of your mind that you have identified with, declared to be who you are, and have become dependent upon, ever so little, must come down. Why must it come down? So that you can become free. Can you become free without it coming down? Sure. Absolutely. That's what spiritual practice is for. When you can get ahead of it, when you can position yourself in front of come what may, and you are in that release and you continue to detach and to let go and to just keep surrendering. When you're in that game, then you are much better off when a wrecking ball comes in. Wrecking balls are not against us. They are for us. It's just how it works here. And it works this way because you are not here to make sacred cows and false idols. The song also sings that once those rebel walls come down, that God is all I want. And that is the high and holy place. God is all I want. And even that as a thought is a wonderful beginning. Even if you say, God is all I want, and even as I'm saying that, I know that's not true. I know there's still other wanting. Fabulous, good insight, good for you. God is all I want is such a sacred place to land because there's a paradox. In God, receiving God, accepting God as your full focus, you get everything. Everything. All has been given. It's not about getting something. It has been given. The party was given for you way back. You are given every gift possible, filled to the overflow. How about spending time opening those gifts? And welcoming all that God is in your life, because that is the strength and that is the courage and that is the sustenance and that is the 12 powers that Nancy will be talking about soon, all wrapped as beautiful gifts inside of you. Fair enough? Waiting for more activation. And every one of them, every gift of God, is a consciousness gift, is a state of mind, a state of being. Every one of them, when activated, will be your protection, will be your source, will bring to you what you need, will give you the lighthouse to follow if and when a storm comes. This is the world of change. And when we accept this and lean into this, we are blessed. Now, I would say that even, because I was thinking about this, I'm like, well, there are people who like change. There's some people who are on their 6th or 7th marriage. There's some people who are living in their 20th house. There are some people that don't stop changing. I happen to be one of those. But I had to pause and say, but is there running in that? Is that actually avoiding something? Is that change as a bypass to not stop and actually look at what is here? Is that what's happening? And it's a good question. Where is it all coming from, and who am I in relationship to it? There's no right or wrong. There's just your knowing and your relationship to it. Unity Naples is moving into another change of a minister coming and going. I think I'm 4 in a row or something, 4 or 5, I don't know. And it's fine, but it is an invitation. And I would be remiss if I would be weak if I didn't dare to bring that forward for you for consideration, for something to look at. What does that mean? It's all relationship. It's all relationship. And I have to look and go, what is my part in every relationship? And you as a collective have to look at your part and go, what is happening here? Who are we being? What's wanted? What's being known? What is occurring for us to grow, to forgive, to come alive in a new way? It's just invitation if you don't make it wrong. But you do welcome the insight that's available. we find out what is going on here. This wonderful reading was given to me by someone from here, and it's from a daily meditations book on the teachings of Jesus. And Jesus gives a different message each day, and it says, "Your relationship with me is meant to be vibrant and challenging as I invade more and more areas of your life." You can think of this as the Christ, as spirit. You don't need to be, if it's Jesus for you, great, but it doesn't matter. Whatever spirit of life, your relationship with it is meant to be challenging, as it is welcome to invade, such a big word, invade every area of your life. Do not fear change, for I am making you a new creation, with old things passing away and new things continually on the horizon. When you cling to old ways and sameness, you resist my work in you. I want you to embrace all that I'm doing in your life. Find your security in me alone. Find your security in God alone. Find your security in the presence of the divine alone. It is easy to make an idol of routine, finding security within the boundaries you build around your life. Although each day contains 24 hours, every single one presents a unique set of circumstances. Listen to this. Don't try to force fit today into yesterday's mold. Isn't that nice? Don't try to force fit today into yesterday's mold. And isn't that what we do? We expect people to be who we expect them to be when we open our eyes. And if they're being different, it scares you. You're like, what's going on? Why are you acting this way? Even if they awaken fully to spirit, you'd be like, why did you do that? It goes on to say real quickly, don't try to, instead ask me to open your eyes so you can find all I have prepared for you in this precious day of life. It's so beautifully said. It's so beautifully said. That's why I said the spiritual path is an accelerated path of change. Because you have said yes to welcoming more parts of yourself to be brought to the light for transformation than the average bear. The average person bumps into it if they're not interested in spiritual awakening. It's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Might take a little longer. But for you, you said yes to God. You said yes to love. But you also said yes to everything unlike this rising up to be transformed. That is the spiritual path. And when you can embrace that, and when you can begin to enjoy that, you stand in the newness of spirit. Every day a new day. Every day, what's next for me here? Who's going to come around the corner? In a million years, I could not have imagined the joy of working with these people. That's what brings me to tears. I could not have imagined being able to worship with these people who give their souls to the song of God. I'm so blessed by that. It's such a gift. It's such a gift. And I leave you that gift, my friends, because I thought of stealing them. I thought of doing life my way. Socrates said, the secret of change is to focus all your energy, not on fighting the bold, but on building the new. And this is everything. Because you are in building the new. Please hear this. Building the new. That is your only option here. It's your only option. To look backwards will not work. Do you know the story of Lot and his wife? Told not to look back. And Lot's wife couldn't help it. And she looked back at what was being destroyed, and she turned to a pillar of salt. What that represents is if you turn around and if you focus on the way it was, you are dead. That is not life-giving. Even the thought, please hear this, even the thought, well, I want to bring that one thing we used to do forward. Can we just look back and get the good? No. No, you can't. Look forward for the good, and the good will come to you. But if you're even picking a little bit, it shows you're afraid. It shows you're controlling. It shows you don't trust. Believe me, all the good of your past will come to meet you if you focus on the new and more. You won't lose a thing. It will be multiplied. It will be blessed. This is for your individual life. This is for your collective life here. Life, this pandemic swept in, and it is a gift to every one of us. If you will receive the gift, if you will say, how is this making me new? What is being called to be born in me? I want to be asking that question to my last day in this meat suit. To the last day, I want to be interested in what new life is happening. That is the question that I ask you today. Please, my begging to Unity Naples. I'll talk a little more next week, but I'm told not much, according to what is being created. I am very, very proud of my participation here. It was flipping hard because I was a wrecking ball. I was called to be a wrecking ball by you. Of course, you forgot that. You wanted me to do a feather. But you wouldn't have hired me if you really wanted a feather. And I think it's good because we always want constructs to come down so new ones can be born. Cling not to the past. Focus fully, arms open to receive, to the now moment that is pregnant with something that you cannot imagine. How amazing it would be if you spent the next month in not even knowing. Joyous anticipation. And then you decided to increase that to the next month, where you spend 2 months and just, I'm not going to make it up. I just want to be in joyous anticipation of what is new and what is life-giving. And then you took that to the next month and then to the next month, and things would start appearing magically if your focus was on what is here that's new and wonderful now. Please, to the mind that thinks everything will just, there'll be nothing the same. There'll be plenty here. How beautiful is this? God is the constancy. That is what you can depend upon. In back of all of this is an undeniable, perfect light that is the changeless. And you are a part of that. Your body changes. The things of this world transform. They disappear. While you stand in the center of it, just like God, changeless forevermore, creating, welcoming, expanding. That's who you are. And do you want to line up with the thing that was made and then watch it crumble? Or do you want to line up with the life that makes it over and over and over? The option is clear. The option is clear when I ask you, a little more challenging when you're called to practice it. When you're called to practice it. Who you are in times of change is everything. What you're saying, what you're thinking, what you're allowing into your environment. What you're allowing into your environment is so important. We know Amy and Jesse have a brand new baby. They are protecting that environment like good mama and papa birds, right? That environment is everything. And this is the consciousness that I want for you here. As you have been welcomed, and I really do believe, you have the chance now to be all that it can be and even more. The property and the community and everything is lined up. Will you let infection of thoughts and gossip and meanness come in to damage the environment? Or will you hold to the innocence and the perfection for this place and for your own life. For your own life. One of the things we do often when we have something new being born inside of us, and you want to sabotage it, what's the best way to sabotage something new inside of you? Talk about it too early. Tell someone, especially like that part of you, like tell the person that always says no to you. And then you walk away and go, why did I just tell her my idea? She always does that. And now you know why you did it. You did it because you're afraid. The new idea excited you, and then it scared you. And in the fear, you wanted a little bit of, like, bring this down. That we got to pay close attention. If you're just here for a couple, if you're just a drop-in to this community, and that's how you want to experience it, your consciousness is just as important. It's just as valid. For together, listen to me, together, unified in the glory of God, this shall be a place that is so high vibration, people from all over the world will come here to stay in a yurt, to camp, to be a part of workshops, to be a part of magnificent gatherings where world-renowned spiritual leaders come either here physically or come here that way, because the new world, both are perfect. The possibility of this amazing place is absolutely endless right now. And your choosing to be a part of it is only a gift to yourself. It's only a gift to yourself. As you lean in to being a part of rebirthing and creating something new, as you give yourself to it, you must and shall be blessed, because giving and receiving are the same. They happen simultaneously. This isn't it. This is high law. High law of giving, receiving is the moment you give is the moment you receive. Human law is, I gave you this gift. What am I getting back? It has been 7 days. There is no thank you note in my mailbox. Right? That is not giving. That is a limited way of being. But in spirit, there's no measurement. There's just the glory of giving and receiving simultaneously. And the more you give, the more you receive. So you can't lose by leaning into change and giving yourself to it. You can't. You absolutely cannot. It says in Course in Miracles, God's plan for your salvation cannot change, nor can it fail. Be thankful it remains exactly as He planned it. Changelessly, it stands before you like an open door, with warmth and welcome, calling from beyond the doorway, bidding you to enter in and make yourself at home where you belong. Salvation is a funky word. God's plan for your remembering who you are. God's plan for your holiness is guaranteed, and it is changeless. And that is actually the path you're walking. And as you walk this path of your own awakening and remembering your oneness with God, all kinds of things are going to come and go of this world. We know this. We're far too mature in life to question that. This is a given. But what is also a given, and even more of a given, is this invitation that changelessly it stands before you like an open door with warmth and welcome. Isn't that nice? That is what you can count on. And when you do place your attention there, you become used and change is easy. In fact, dare I say, enjoyable. You could enjoy it. You could flip it over. You could be so awakened, your house is burning down, and you're like, awesome, can't wait to see where I'm going to live next. This is amazing. This is amazing. What's next for me? Thank you, universe. Clearly, I needed a tree to fall down on me. We all have these appointments. And again, you know because you've met a couple of them. Those appointments in life where through the side door comes a change that you don't want, you didn't call for it, you can't anticipate, and you don't know what to do because you can't breathe. That everyone gets in one shape or form or another. And the desire to think that your spiritual path is just to sort of skim under the radar. I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. I just want to get through this one with no problems. That is just not, at least in my experience, the real spiritual path. The real spiritual path is show me everything in my way. The real spiritual path is move from my consciousness all clinging and detachment. And when you get there, then you can move through the happy being. But the way there takes something, but you never lose. Are you with me? All right, take a breath. Take a breath. Let's do a prayer. I invite our prayer chaplains and ministers to stand up. If you're comfortable, if you feel comfortable today, look around the room for a moment and notice these wonderful people who have spent time in study and practice to support you. And we breathe into the divine reality that we are, which is the light of spirit. In the beginning, God spoke, and the words were, "Let there be light." Let there be a constant presence, a renewing presence, something that can flow and go in all directions, unencumbered, faster and easier than water. In the beginning and back of all is this light. It is eternal. It is alive. It has awareness. And it is who and what we are. And imagine this light within you flowing effortlessly. A simple mirror can shoot it in a new direction. A simple intention can flow it towards love and forgiveness and healing. This light is infinite in its power. This light is endless in its peace. This light is filled to overflow in its joy. And you are this light. The endless peace, the overflowing joy, the eternal presence itself. I am that changeless, brilliant light that flows and grows and gives. Take a breath. Keep breathing. Keep breathing.
I am divinity divine.
Yes.
I am a God on the inside. I am a star.
Yes.
Piece of it all. I am light. I am light.
Sing along.
I am light. I am light. Oh, I am light. 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 I am light.
Sing it. Sing it. Sing it one more time. No greater truth has ever been spoken or sung. This shall be done because it is, and so it is. Amen. Amen.